Hello. How's everybody doing out there on a Peasant Chat Sunday? That's right, Peasant Chat, where we talk to generally poor people. But today is a day that I think has long been coming for one person. Today we're going to out a grifter of the tuning community. What is a grifter? Well, a grifter is a flim-flam man, a guy who commits fraud, a person who engages in small or petty swindling. So, Lund Racing, after what happened last week, the door has been busted open, basically not by Lund. Again, we're not out there publicly accusing people of doing weird things. But ever since the floodgates were opened, a lot of, let's just say, proof has been brought our way that basically proves what we thought all along, that a lot of people are out there either using a lot, I'm not saying all, I'm saying a lot of people were out there using either a base file from Lund, like we saw with the Dropbox stuff, whatever. But again, like I said, after 17, I think everyone is out on their own. But the other side of the coin is drawing the tune. I told you guys there are forums out there dedicated to reversing Lund files. And again, a lot of you guys go, what's the big deal? What's the big deal if they draw the tune? In the Chevy community, they do that all the time. Well, this isn't the Chevy community. In order to get your hands on special stuff, special software, files, Ford-specific parameters, and all those other things cost money. So every calibration that Lund is responsible for typically takes about $100,000 investment, meaning Gen 1, Gen 2, auto manual, Gen 3, auto manual, F-150, GT500, 07 to 14 and 2020 GT350. Lund Racing has owned every single one of those vehicles. So what do? You try your changes in your personal vehicle. You blow it up, or you just say, hey, this thing works really well, and everything seems to hash out. So if we're not necessarily first to market with a lot of the tuning, but we are definitely best to market. And you'll see with the 21 F-150 that the customer service is going to be great. Once everything gets hammered out, I think we're going to really do a good job. But we have had a lot of theories that people are out there either using Lund stuff or having access to Lund stuff. And the moment we see somebody that has never owned an R&D vehicle, all of a sudden start tuning big badass combos, with like one of the first cars they tuned was a fast car. You know, our antennas go up. But do we go out there and say, oh my God, this, that? No, we don't go out there and start saying, oh, this guy. We just go fishy, because where there is smoke, there is fire. So today we're going to out and grifter by name, show you proof, and he self-snitched. That's right. He self-snitched. We didn't out anybody until he self-snitched. So today we're going to go through the timeline of his employment at Lund Racing. Yes, Matt Honeycutt, today is your day of reckoning. Today is the day we lay out the timeline. We let people know what our experiences were, and let the customers and future customers of your company, let them take this information for what it's worth, because I have the receipts and I will tell you my personal dealings with this person. But as always, before we talk shit and out a grifter of the tuning community, we want to make sure we thank the sponsors. We want to make sure that the sponsors get a nice mention so that they're involved in the shenanigans. 2 Auto Solution, that's right. 2 Auto Solution, Rami Zaidan, he's here in Florida right now working on a twin turbo car that blew up. Good for him. So he's going to diagnose that car. Nice. He's like a traveling mechanic. Race Motive, the premier roller racing event up in the Northeast. They do events in Pocono, Raceway, and MIR. Check them out. Race Motive on Instagram, all that stuff. Good shit. They're doing a lot of giveaways. Every Tuesday we do giveaways. Ultimate Header, ultimateheader.com, Ultimate Header on Instagram. The Parts Farm, he's out there racing his Porsche, doing his thing. PMAS, Nick James, PMAS, give the 30% coupon to the previous gentleman. We gave him the info. Hopefully he puts it to good use. Kong Performance, Greg Kong, and the ZR1 program, the lid program, the porting program, everything is on point. Love that he sponsored the channel. DNA High Performance, he'll fight you, and he'll give you hats. Again, all the parts that you want, you can get them at DNAHighPerformance.com. Calimer Transmission right now has a sale going on Stage 2 NT82s and a Vengeance clutch. I think it's like $800 off the whole package. So if you're looking for clutch transmission stuff, hit up Ben Calamer, bencalamer.com, Calamer Transmissions on Instagram, and we'll go from there. Let's say hi to the people here, and we're gonna go through the timeline because Lund Racing hasn't said anything about this until we had proof. So I'm gonna go through the timeline. I'm gonna tell you my experiences with him, his words, Lund's words, and you guys be the judge. You guys be the judge. Bryson, Witt, 2000 MCR, Pito Chiquito, Wesley Stewart, Mini by Madman, Diego, ATX, Cobra, The Wolf, Coyote Kelly, Tone 2SS, Monty 540, Garage Built again. 11 said, anyone, hey, by the way, Garage Built needs a drive shaft, so if anyone out there can make drive shaft, by the way, PST or something like that, PTS, PSD, something like that, they make badass drive shafts in Florida. 11-second Eclipse, your boy Troy. What's up, your boy Troy? Jared Wells. Jared Wells. He's in trouble from the other chat. 11-second Eclipse, Jake, Angel Puerto Rico, Joe Swish, TJ Sikorsky, Clip Up the Horse, JD Swag, Screaming 03, Donkey, Richard, Charles, Shark Marls, 05, F-150 XL, Stick Shift Matt, Bruce Willis, Chris Jameson, D-Rock Fox, James NJ, Mini by Madman, Ken McAllister, Go Fast, Repair, Cuomo, Clutch Kick, Gregory Upvich, Native Shift, Brian 03 Cobra, Matt Oliver, Alfredo Diaz, Leon Phelps, Dunn, Corey Grayley. What's up? Nice seeing you here, man. 11-second Eclipse, Clutch Dump, and Dre Day, Josh Roy, TRD Ricky, Abdullah Al-Abasi, Mini, Khabib, Dirty Dave, Devin, Marth, Matt, Alfredo, Bryson Witt again, and all the usual suspect. That's right, PST is the drive shaft company. In the chat, finally says Daily Driver, usually put you on TV on Sundays, but work today. Okay, so let's talk about Matt Honeycutt because it's now public. Because he went ahead and basically outed himself as a guy who is potentially involved in some nefarious activity. So if you guys were on Facebook not too long ago, John Lund Jr. put out a post that says it's Tune Fraud Friday. Okay, let's start there. Let me get the sponsors out of here, display capture, and boom. Right here, it says Tune Fraud Friday. Interesting how a tune we did in April 2020 on a 2015 GT got read and reused. In this compare, you'll see it has very little changes against E85. Fuel system, Calamer Stage 3 tune, someone else did a year later. So again, we sent this originally April 2020. So later on, it ended up with E85 and Calamer Stage 3 tune. And we're like, oh, I guess they didn't go through us. Okay, they got somebody else to tune it. No problem. We weren't sweating it until we found out more details on who tuned it. Especially when it's an Edelbrock E-Force 2650 with a 103 millimeter throttle. By the way, that is nothing to sneeze at. 103 millimeter throttle body for it to work on a Gen 2 is not cake, especially back then. Okay, back then, I think only Lund had it figured out or was at least capable of tuning it without fail-safing. And a number of throttle changes required to make it function properly. You'd think if someone did it on their own, from scratch, that would show up in the compare. Not to be identical to our tune at all. Even our little Easter eggs don't show up in the compare differences, meaning we put things in the tune to differentiate from other tuners, things that don't make sense. And if the other guy had built it from scratch, those things would not be in there. They would just not be in there. My favorite part is how this particular person modified the wrong part of the Spark air fuel adder table and changed the timing on a table that's not even used. It shows their lack of attention to detail and overall knowledge. So it's funny to me that people hit them to tune their car, let alone 1,000+ horsepower, which he has never tuned from scratch in his life. And that is provable. This person, Matt Honeycutt, has never tuned anything over, I want to say 800 horsepower from scratch. I'm saying, I don't even think he's built an NA tune on a Coyote from scratch. I'm saying from sand. Everything he has done in the tuning world has been a Lund Racing situation. And after that, funny, all of a sudden he's tuning 12, 13, 1400 horsepower stuff. The door was cracked open last week, so I figured I'd juggernaut right through it. Funny. Edit. I can't fully confirm the N-gauge flashing part, but there is some interesting breadcrumbs in the SD card. The only way to use our N-gauge was require our personal intellectual property to export the files in the proper format. But it's clear that our tune was read off, modified, reflashed. I can only assume it has been done once more than before. Now, this is hilarious to me. So this is basically him proving out the deal, but this is my favorite. This is my favorite. So this is a compare. What that means is you open a main tune here on this tab on HP Tuners. Then you go open compare file. So then you have the tunes, and then this is the complete differences of all the changes that were made. The only changes that were made from the time that we tuned it to the time that Mad Honeycutt, and this is the only reason I'm calling him out, because he self-snitched, and I'll show you where he self-snitched. So the math, he changed. Fuel stoic. Transient gain versus RPM versus MAB, which is hilarious to me. Borderline knock. Transmission gear ratios for Ben Calimer trans. And pulses per rev, meaning the OSS, meaning the output shaft speed sensor. My favorite table is this one right here, guys. So your boy, Mr. Honeycutt, drew the Lund tune, threw E85 on it. And he is commanding, wow, he is commanding more timing at a higher RPM at watt air fuel. Meaning, watt air fuel, let's say your pump kicks out, you're done, your pump's not working anymore, and you're going watt, and at 4,000 RPM, honestly, 3,500 RPMs and up at watt, you'll see more timing, meaning your motor will blow up faster. He should have put it here in the 7582 range. Nope. He put it in the 1011 range, meaning the leaner you are, the more power the car will see. Now, a lot of people are going to say, Alex, why are you doing this? Simple. He outed himself. It's really, really, really simple. He outed himself because after John posted that, I guess someone got a guilty conscience. Someone said, damn it, I have to defend myself. And here it is. Mad Honeycutt. I'll say it in his accent. I don't typically engage in this type of drama, though I feel like I'm being forced to respond to these baseless accusations. By the way, accusations to this baseless accusation. Oh, it's a single accusation. Got it. And I'm only doing this to ease the minds of my current and future customers. As with anyone who wants to control the narrative, only one side of the story has been told and has been manipulated into something that it's not. This is the basis of the story. Someone read the tune, made changes, and then passed it off as their own. Okay, that's the base. That's the base of the accusation, Matt. I'm a believer in the truth will set you free. So here's the entire truth behind this attempt to tarnish my character. First, I want to make it clear whoever this mysterious person is the person who shared with our competitor. You have to be in competition to be called a competitor. This information in the text message, you can see clearly that the first name blacked out is Matt. Actually, no, you can't see it. You outed yourself. And the second one is someone who I fired from Juggernaut some time ago. We'll call her A. I was very close friends with A at the time. She was my best friend, someone who meant a lot to me. This story's coming another day. A woman is your best friend. Interesting. When I went to visit Florida, wanted to convert her car to E85, she was already tuned by the competitor, Lund. She was, say our name. She was tuned by Lund. She was already tuned by the competitor, and funny enough, I'm 95% sure I'm the one who sent her the file during my employment there. Well, the nice thing about that shit is we have receipts. That's the nice thing about the Zendesk system. Johnny Nardi gave Brandon a ticket in March 14th, 2020. 15 GT manual in-house install. We'll be tuning for your customer performance package. The base file before the fuel changes, before the trans changes, was sent by Brandon on March 17th, 2020. Receipts don't lie. Well, let's get back to Mr. Self-Snitch's, explanation about this situation. When I went to, so one thing about A is she didn't like waiting on things. Okay, so I'm going to draw her file because she's impatient. That's basically, he is justifying his actions. And that's what things, she's a kind of got to have it now person. And me being the person is, this person is basically saying, I did this to help a friend. No way was I looking to make myself look better or promote or advertise that I tuned her car, right? So anyway, he goes on to say, I never once copied or sold the competitor's file. The competitor has purchased several tunes that they think I don't know. And if this is the fact, they would have gone public long ago. We just needed proof, brother. And now we got it. So the competitor, this is my challenge to you. I'll post the latest file comparison against Terry's 10R car publicly. Do you think he's going to actually post the actual file? Based on the amount of lies this guy says, you think he's going to actually be truthful all of a sudden? He already admitted to pulling the Lund tune. He already admitted to pulling it, putting fuel stoic, putting timing where it doesn't belong. So he says, I've been tuning for 20 years and you hired me to pay me a very healthy paycheck because of how good I am. No, they hired you for your programming stuff. Nothing about tuning. And we'll talk about his tuning prowess after that. I expected better of you. He's trying to be the bigger man while he admits he stole a file that Brandon sent. So he's saying, I never intended on promoting that or reselling anything. That was not my intent at all. Well, then what the fuck is this post doing on Facebook? Juggernaut Performance Tuning finally got her car up and running on E85 with the Grip Tech pulley and the JN2 return kit from Juggernaut Performance on her Edelbrock 2650, and Third Gear has left the chat. So basically, the Calumet transmission was tuned up with E85 as his admission, and it blew shit up, and then right here, Jug tuned. Wait a minute. If you drew the Lund tune, added fuel stoic Calumet trans stuff, and said you were doing it for a best friend, and never had the intent on selling it, why are you promoting it on Facebook? As if to say, Jug tuned. No, it's Lund tuned, and you drew the file according to your post. According to your post, you drew the file. You made bad changes, apparently. You made it have more timing at 1.1 lambda. Congratulations on that one. Like, good job. And then all of a sudden start saying, well, I didn't draw nothing. I didn't mean to promote nothing. Like, it's not my thing. Well, let's go through the timeline. Let's go through the timeline of this person, because I know the timeline. The timeline is as follows. He was hired in 2016 by Lund. Okay, he was hired in 2016 by Lund. Then he fell into some legal shit, which I'm not going to get into because it's not my shit. But Lund paid for that. Lund paid for that. Those people that are bad people, those people that are just out to get you, those people that are just bad people, they paid for that. Paid for it. So that I don't think got any kind of, let's just say, he didn't pay it back. Let's just say that. And if he did, it was like a minuscule amount. He did some tuning. So he was tuning NA stuff, mostly some Vortex stuff, nothing crazy, nothing over 650 wheel. And the amount of comebacks, people were like, hey, this is not working right. This is not working right. And Dasan, rest in peace, Dasan, came up to Junior, was like, bro, we got to get him off the tuning, because the amount of people coming back saying there are things wrong or lack of attention to detail. So he was pulled off of the tuning queue, and he was doing website stuff and some programming stuff. And Junior and him shared an office for years. They shared an office for years. Now, then I come into Lund Racing, 2018 or so, or 2019 or something like that. And I meet him, and I'm like, all right, he's just some dumpy dude that works in the office, and he's into programming. And him and Junior, they hammer stuff out. Let this be known. Absolutely none of the base files were touched by him. Junior built all of the base files from 15 and up after the old Dropbox stuff was kind of like, just wasn't driving well. And we just said, let's just reorganize everything. So Gen 2, Gen 3, everything was done by Junior. That is his main job. Whereas Matt's job was to mostly facilitate programming, mainly do stuff in the background, website help, stuff like that. Like that was his job. He wasn't getting paid a pretty penny in order to tune. No, the opposite. You were pulled off of the tuning queue, because why did I get hired if you were still tuning? Like, why did I get hired if you're still tuning? If you're still hammering out tunes, you, Dakota, and Brandon, why did I get hired? So anyway, he gets pulled off of tuning, does some programming stuff, bada bing, bada boom. He quits in 2019 and goes to work for another company. And again, I'm not going to name companies, but let's just say this. In the time that he worked for Lund Racing, he had access to eMotion, Engage, they talked, blah, blah, blah. And then he was on the phone, because I was there, I saw it with my eyeballs, with the next employer he was going to have. He was constantly talking, going outside. Why would you go outside? Constantly talking on the phone, da-da-da-da-da-da. And then he says, hey, I'm going to quit. Okay. Those three companies got hit by the EPA. Draw your own conclusions. These are the facts. Worked for Lund, had access to eMotion stuff, and the third company he went to work for afterwards all got hit by the EPA. That is not conjecture. That is not me making stuff up. That is irrefutable fact. So once he was gone, right, we were like, all right, whatever. So funny thing, I was in on a meeting in person right here. Like I was like looking at this person who actually employed this person a while back. And he said a line that was so perfect. He said he oversold his abilities. The reason he was let go is he oversold his abilities, meaning talked a big game, said he can do all this stuff. And then once you find out that there's no there's no meat there, there's nothing there, eventually he started looking for a way out. And I think that's what he started doing at Lund Racing also. He was at Lund Racing. He's like, I'm going to look for a parachute. Went to work for the company he thought was going to be a parachute. And then just miraculously, out of just thin air, the craziest thing happens. Emotion, Lund, and the third company he went to work for got hit by the EPA. So you can take that for what it's worth. You can literally take that for what it's worth and say, whatever, I don't think it's a big deal. So now what's happening is people are defending him. What's happening is people are defending him because they want to get tuned by him. And I don't know if he works for Juggernaut or if he owns Juggernaut. I don't care. My job here is to out you as a fucking fraud and a liar because I've had personal experience with you, seeing you tune your SN turn turbo car and not knowing where to cap timing, not knowing where to add timing, asking Junior for help constantly. Where did that 20 years of tuning experience happen? And I asked Junior, does this guy know how to freaking tune, dude? Like I was there at the track and it's not Maple Grove. It's another one in like Jersey, another track in Jersey. I was like, hey, Junior, does this guy know what he's doing? Like one of the first things we learn at Lund Racing is where to cap timing based on their files and where to add timing based on their files. Like basic 101 stuff. And if this guy was some tuning guru, then you would go, well, you know how to do it. And then he struggled. But anyway, he left Lund Racing. 3 companies he was involved in were all of a sudden, hit by the EPA miraculously. Okay, these are facts. I have receipts. He self-snitched, doors wide open. So all of a sudden, he has a non-compete. So the non-compete, probably ATCO. So the non-compete is over, meaning now he is not contractually bound to, not tune. So now he starts tuning. And one of the first cars he starts tuning is a potential 7-second car. And we go, wait a minute. It's one thing to tune JLT, PMAS, E85, LU47 cars from scratch, from sand. So you're like, okay, here you go. Here's an NA tune and I'm working my way up. And then it's a whole nother thing to buy a turbo kit, install it, hammer out that tune from scratch, or based on what he did with that Edelbrock car, do you think, it's real simple to connect the dots, guys. Do you think it's easier for him to just say, oh, you got a turbo car? Can I mess with it? Can I draw that file out just to learn? I just want to learn. I don't want to tune it. I just want to learn. And we'll see if I could give you a better tune. Because he admits he has tools, his own tools, to draw out a file. And wouldn't you know it, that car ended up being a Lund Racing car that all of a sudden we stopped hearing from. We stopped hearing. Whoop. And then this guy is out there defending him on Facebook. I'm not going to name his name, but if he wants to self-snitch too, go ahead. So this all of a sudden gets tuned. I don't know what it runs. We see logging with an N-gauge and antennas start going up. Boop, boop, boop. Whoa. He's logging with an N-gauge. Why is he logging with an N-gauge? Are they flashing with an N-gauge? Who knows? But he has tools. So imagine the first car you tune after your non-compete is up is a potential 7-second car. Does anybody out there believe a locked cam twin turbo Gen 2 is cake shit to tune? Does anybody? Does anybody out there think that one of the first cars he starts tuning publicly and starts promoting is a max effort? Imagine Alejandro Flores works for Lund Racing, right? Alejandro Flores works for Lund Racing. The quickest car I've tuned, I think, has been high 7s or low 8s, 8.0 or whatever, right? And then I say, hey, Lund, I'm going to go pursue my YouTube career. Thank you very much. Big handshake, big, whatever. Stay in touch. Cool. I leave. My non-compete is up after 2 years, and now I'm tuning a 6-second S550 Coyote with AMS 2000 meth, air-to-air intercooler, GT350 cams locked. You know, really, really interesting. You guys would say, because there's no way a Puerto Rican can do, Puerto Ricans do it. They're stupid. Okay, fine. But when someone else does it, who talks a big game and says he is the Billy Badass, guys, don't you know my history? Look, all you have to do is talk to this person for a second to know he's full of shit. For a second. And that's fine. I'm not going to go in on personal shit because I can go in on that. But I am doing his professional stuff that he admitted to drawing a Lund file, manipulating it, and then it shows up on Facebook as Jug Tuned. But in his post, he said it was my female best friend that I really loved. And, you know, I'll talk about that another time. I was just trying to help her out. Jug Tuned, Edelbrock 2650, 103 throttle body, Jug Tuned, Jug Tuned. So if you're Lund Racing in the background, you're going, all this shit's happening. You're like, do we say something? Nah, not until we have proof. We have proof. And then he self-snitched. So now the door is wide open. So forget the Terry stuff. I don't care. This is what he admitted to doing. 3 places got hit by the EPA after he left all 3 places. That is not smearing. That is fact. So go ahead and deal with him. Go ahead and get tuned by him. That is the horse you got to ride out on. That's your guy. So a lot of you also going, wait a minute. He's a nice guy. I met his family. He tuned me for free. Well, I'd tune you for free too if I'd had access to a fucking nice file, huh? Imagine I have a Kenny Bell 168 cammed 14 GT500 making 1400 horsepower. And I go, bro, I'm not going to charge you because you're so nice. You know what, Alejandro Flores? I just want to help you out. I just want to be your friend. Do you mind if I tune your car? Let me ask any of you out there. Did he plug anything into the car before he actually flashed the car with a tune? Well, Alex, you got a data log. No, you don't. Just tell me the parts list. Do I ask for a data log before I tune your car? Fuck no, I don't give a shit how it's running. We'll figure it out after. Okay, LU47s, JLT, blah, blah, blah. Kenny Bell 168 cams, E85 returns all fuel system, ID 1700s. I build it, I send it. Now, if I plug in and bring out this freaking laptop from hell and start putting, bunny ears on top of the car and hook up to Starlink, and I'm like, what the hell is he doing? Oh, don't worry, it's for free. He's just data logging. Whatever you want to tell yourself to make it make sense in your head. At the end of the day, we know he modified one Lund tune. Then the company he's affiliated with promoted it on Facebook after him saying it was for his friend. So you can actually make the case and the leap that he's done that with other files. And that's what I'm saying. Because tuning, drawing, in my opinion, is worse than having access to a Dropbox folder that became public back in 2015. If a Dropbox folder all of a sudden became available in some forum and everyone drew off of it and everyone used it, or maybe people said here, okay, fine. But it is a completely different thing to say that car runs good, that 18 auto runs good, that 18, 10, or 80 auto runs really good. Let's see if I can learn anything from that and make it run better. Well, we do it in the Chevy world. We don't spend... How much do the Chevy guys spend in R&D and access to files to make something happen? So you can argue the fact that I'm full of shit. You can say, but I have the receipts. Tune was sent by Brandon. Tune was drawn by Mad Honeycat on his admission. And then all of a sudden he's tuning potentially 7-second cars and then Gen 3 cars when he's never owned one. And while at Lund Racing, never tuned anything over 700 or 800 wheel. And his personal car, he had no idea where to manipulate timing. And you saw the changes he made, adding timing at 1.1 lambda at watt. Now, take away from that what you will. You want to deal with them? Go ahead. Just like I said a couple of weeks ago. If you're tuned by our competitor, you're probably Lund Tune. So we'll talk about it. We'll talk about what he self-snitched. So I'm like, whatever. And again, this fell on my lap. I was like, boop, I was going to talk about more Ford problems. And then this fell on my lap. And I'm like, wow, this is nuts that someone would actually self-snitch and potentially be involved in 3 companies. Because if Alex Flores goes to IBM, quits IBM, goes to Pfizer, quits Pfizer, goes somewhere else, and all 3 places get hit up by the Federal Trade Commission, you're going to go, there's a common thread around this situation. 20 years of tuning, that's my favorite, because didn't tune one thing while at work at Lund Racing.
Not one motherfucker.
Not one thing. Sorry. The guy's whatever. On a personal basis, he's a whatever. You know who saw through all of his shit? You know who saw through all of his shit? And it was his kryptonite? Mama Lund. Mama Lund looked at him and she's like, didn't believe anything he said, didn't take him seriously, knew that she was like, and you know, us guys were like, well, maybe, and this and that. And again, Matt, you know this personal shit I can go in on, but that's not me. I want to do your professional stuff that you already admitted to. Again, I wouldn't even mention a damn thing if you wouldn't have opened your cocksucker out there and started telling people you drew a Lund. You admitted to drawing a Lund file, adjusting it, then saying it wasn't for sale, and a post on Facebook says, actually, it's jug tuned. Bro, did you even use your brain before making that post? Why make a post at all? Blown away that he actually admitted to it. HP Tuners has an entire menu of other people's tune files to choose from. Hey, Alex. Look at Truviate. Of course, coming in and killing the vibe. My God, unreal. I'm just saying, moving forward, you should come to Lund. Who is Street RN? Where's Street RN? Is he saying something stupid? I don't know all this stuff. Okay, got it. Fat Boy hyped him up. Again, I don't want to go in on the Terry stuff. Terry, he chose him. I hope they go 6s. But based on that admission, you can take away from that what you will. His admission. And I said, wait a minute. I was there. I was physically there. I saw what happened. So then I see it all happen and I go, shit. And guys, ask the Lunds. I have been trying to say something for a long time, but I'm like, but then I'm just going to look like a salty, dumb Puerto Rican guy with a podcast. But then I'm like, I don't have any proof. It's not my shit. Because I love talking shit. It's called talking shit. But guess what? This is talking truth with receipts. If they come in here, it would be actually pretty funny because what can you do to defend what he said? You drew the file. You adjusted it. And then you said you didn't promote it or sell the competitor's tune. Meanwhile, it's on Facebook being promoted as your tune. Stop it. Stop it. Can't fool mama. He may be the reason for the best tuning device, why we lost the best tuning device on the planet. Look, I'm not going to go that far. What I'm going to say is, okay, I was never involved with anyone being hit by any government entity ever. I was with Lund when it happened. I was actually remotely located in Florida. And I think that's why Lund is salty on remote employees. Matt was out in Kansas tuning guys at a meet. And then they were asking for revisions. It happened. And then we were like, we don't have your tune folder, dude. Where'd you get tuned? And to save face, he moved to Pennsylvania. He said, whoa. Moved to Pennsylvania. To show I'm really committed to this company. I want to make sure that we take it to I'm 95% sure I wrote that file. If that is your 95% and a simple Zendesk search kills you, by the way, you want to hear a great 95% story? I'll give you a 95% story. Oh, Matt Honeycuck is in the house, says, I'm sorry about that, man. Garrett Smith says, loving all the ZR1 content, always enjoy the channel. So, the 95% story has been internally hilarious for 10 years, 5 years. So back in the early days of Gen 2, the throttle staying open issue was very prevalent. You'd leave off a trans brake, throttle stays open. So we were hammering that out one day at Maple Grove. So we thought he had some, access to patching something. That's why the patch stuff is hilarious to us. We're like, patch? What you patch, bro? So we get back. John Lund makes a hit. Throttle stays open. We let off. Come back. Look at the data log. And Matt Honeycutt makes a change and he goes, I'm 95% sure I got it this time. Goes out there, makes a hit. Throttle stays open. Comes back. Oh, I see what I did wrong right here. Hey, go ahead. I'm 95% sure. He said that 5 times. 5 times. Senior went out there. Launch. Throttle stayed open. We quit. Went back. Junior hammered it out and was like, I think I got it. Boom. We proved it out on Mr. Carroll's TVS car. We proved it out on the Blue Goose. Shortly thereafter, somebody had an accident and we said, shit, that might have been the issue. So when he says, I'm 95% sure I got it this time, and it kept failing over and over and over, I about died laughing. So we were just like, oh, by the way, let's get on the website stuff. Part of his job, besides, programming and, adding features that we thought were cool, because he had some programming knowledge, But again, not tuning. Programming and tuning, not a thing. He was not tuning. We were thinking of a cool website to do cool shit in, okay? And he's like, I got someone that's great for the job. We're like, oh, you know someone yep, I got someone that'll be awesome for that field. Okay, we brought him in as a consultant. The person he recommended was sus, super sus. Guess how much? Put in the chat. Guess how much money we spent on a website that went nowhere? Put in the chat how many dollars on a website that went nowhere that we were invested in. I was there and I was like, wait a minute, this money could be going in my pocket. This big money that we're spending on Homeboy could be coming into my pocket because I'm hammering shit out. I'm fucking tuning all day trying to make it happen. Your boy Troy, $100,000 into a website that went nowhere. So legal stuff, $100,000. A website, $100,000. Don't you think we'd be salty about shit too? Don't you think Lund Racing is justified in being a little salty when he admits to drawing a tune, saying he's not promoting it, and it shows up? Stop it. Just stop it with that stuff. I'm blown away that people will still defend him. Look, defend him. Look, I want you to defend him. Go ahead. Get tuned by him. Support his company. Go for it. Don't come to me when you get fucked on shit. Don't come to me when doors come knocking for some weird reason. A door came knocking. That's weird. When Lund Racing is out probably $250,000 out on this fucking retard. And you guys are like, I don't know what the issue is, Lund. Oh, let you be out $250,000. Let you be out big money. Let you be out. Let people pirate your customers and you be out all that R&D shit and potential IP. Oof. I'm sure you're going to go ahead and say, water under the bridge. It's all good. You know what? No big deal. We lost a couple $100,000. But hey, man, do you? Fuck that. Hitmen would be out on motherfuckers if certain people would be involved. So please stop. Now, again, go ahead, tune. Go ahead, run your company. Go ahead, get tuned by them. Go ahead and defend them. Go ahead. Don't ever hit me up saying, oh, I'm having issues over there. So can you help me out? Because I see that every day in my system, in my Facebook, on my Instagram. Hey, Alex, can you help me out? I got an issue with such and such tuner. I got an issue with blah, blah, blah tuner. Oh, really? Really? Okay, cool. Not a problem. Ride out with your boy. Ride out with your boy. I don't know about that mini bike. Again, I'm 100% on the professional stuff. $100,000 website, gone. See ya. It would have been, guys, you would have loved it. It would have been revolutionary. Some things no one has done. But don't be surprised if it pops up in a different format. Don't be surprised if it just happens to pop up again. Bro, stop it. Goddamn, Lund is the best. Y'all need to clean and detail. Frankensaurus Rex. Amigo, greetings from Colombia. I have a problem with the Vortex. He doesn't get it. We're out on some shit, and he wants to talk crazy stuff. $100,000 for a website? No, it's the consulting, it's the tools, it's the not analytics. Basically the firm was charging a certain amount. Then after he left, right? Matt left in the middle of all that. Imagine he recommends a guy to you, dips out, goes to work somewhere else. Then he starts flaking. He starts just not answering. We're like, hey, so like the guy that we paid a bunch of money to, and you are like, we're not like, we have something of a website up, but it works like shit. Can we like work on this? So Junior was like, bro, let's cut our losses and get the hell out of here. Let's cut our losses and get the hell out of here. So how much money has Lund lost by entrusting someone else to do something and it falls apart? Fluid Turbo, the website, and a couple of other things that are probably $500,000. Well, I don't know why Lund is all mad and shit. I don't know why Lund is talking all this shit. You be out $500,000 and let's see how you act. Because I was there for both occasions. Stop it. Alice asked about my car wanting to idle at 2100 as soon as I touch the throttle E85 to switch to pumped, and it's fine. Yeah, that's weird. Dirty Dave, I'm going to need a data log of that car, and I think it has to do with certain spark tables that are kind of wonky, especially when it comes to E85. So send another log of that, or just go ahead and reply to that ticket, and we'll go from there. Some people just don't have the conscience when it comes to screwing people over. Evan Smith. Imagine being the reason why the best tuning device is no longer around, says more pews, more boost. Yeah, the dude ghosts. Carlos Oreo, para que entiendan en Puerto Rico, el pirateo del cliente no es jugar limpio. Y quien pierde son los clientes engaña. Correct. So what happens when someone is out there pirating tunes? You suffer. You suffer. So we don't care about competition. We say, go ahead, compete. I don't care that you compete. Go ahead. I want you to. The pie is huge. But do your own stuff. Meaning, you take your NA car with a stock cold air and you tune it. Then you put a blower on it. You dial everything in from scratch, from sand. But what's easier? Let me just take a file that's already vetted. Runs good. Shit, I don't have any idea on the 103 throttle body. I have no idea on the 103 throttle body. I have no idea. Oh, that car has a 103 throttle body? Well, I'm not using their tools. I'm using my tools. So it's okay to draw it and put it back in with my tools and then promote it on Facebook as jug tuned? Vaya con Dios. I don't care. Whatever makes sense in your head, dude, it's all good. $100,000 ain't no joke for a website. Sheesh. Exactly. Site was for 95% at the Wolf. Pookie will get in them. Nah, I'm not looking to cause any harm. This is 100% professional because it happened. It is true. And he alluded to it. I was going to stay quiet. Like, I saw that stuff happening, and I'm like, it ain't going to go nowhere. Boom! He goes out and admits he drew the Lund tune. I'm like, oh, receipts. Here. Good job. I mean, who's advising him? You would have done better by staying quiet and letting people think that Lund was nuts. You would have been absolutely better off if you would have just left it alone and let people think Lund is nuts. But no, you admitted to drawing the file because she's your best friend. Really? I know you said the post-2020 cars have limited access to tune tables, but would you still recommend one for the just simple street car with a blower? A Darius, I've tuned 900, 1,000 horsepower. Yes, with Lund racing files. So, Lund. Imagine I send a tune to you through Lund Racing. And then 10 years later, I go, well, technically, I sent it to you, so it's mine. Could you imagine that? They make power. It's just the Billy Badass stuff. I'm saying trans shifting, certain stuff in the background that we make changes to that is not commercially available. It's just not possible, 21 and up. So we're kind of stuck with what's available. Yeah, my competitor. Right, my competitor. We don't know who you are. He says my competitor. Like competition would entail some kind of, I don't know, like closeness. Dude, in terms of talent and hard work, you're not even on my scale. Like, yeah. Look at this. Look. You're not even on my fucking level when it comes to talent and hard work. Like, not even close. If you had my work ethic and my talent and my, at least, let's say, self-respect, bro, you could actually kill it. But you don't. You're a 50%. I don't know what you heard about me. Quick question, Alex. In your opinion, the best brand of motor oil for supercharged Gen 2 Coyote? Ford Motorcraft 550. Elijah says, Alex, getting my SF50 alignment. I know camber should be at 0. The rear tolling should be adjusted to. I have UPR instead of parts. Honestly, you should go to a shop that's real familiar with IRS drag stuff. I'm not going to get into it with suspension alignment because that is not my wheelhouse. That is just not my wheelhouse. Typically, you want, I don't know what they call it, positive, because on an IRS in the back, when you have to kind of offset it so that when you launch, the tires end up flat. I just don't know what that offset is. Fed's gonna Fed. I'm late, but who admitted to stealing files? Like, just go to his post. His post is and then in the replies to the post, people gloss. They gloss over the admission of theft. No, he didn't steal. Yes, he did. If there is stuff in that file, let's just put an example out there. Let's say things to make that throttle body work are special, and you needed special tools to make it work. Special. But that when you draw the file and open it in something that you think is commercially available, you go, well, this is what's editable. But what if the stuff was done in the background? The ghosts in the machine. The stuff that you don't see, and you'd literally have to go probably into the binary to draw out. Now you have it without being able to manipulate it or see it. Now you have it. So you could say he didn't. You think he took that file, adjusted it, put it in that lady's car and said, sayonara, I'm never going to use this tune again? Are you on crack? Like, are you on absolute meth? Like, you think he doesn't reference that file for everything 103 throttle body and related? Please stop with the BS. Throttle position relative to one command 8.6. Okay, whatever. What's your thoughts on the new CEO for Twitter? Again, you're wrong. I like how people think they know. What's your thoughts on the new CEO for Twitter? I'm not a big fan. She was involved with WEF, the World Economic Forum. She was pro-vax, pro-mask, pro-everything. I think it was a terrible decision by Elon Musk to put her in there. Why put anyone in there closely affiliated with WEF? Stop. Did you already touch on Atco? Don't know anything about Atco. Give me specifics. Mexico Racing League, 1.160 foot with stock specs alignment with Steeda tune and UPR parts. There you go. Mexico Racing League said stock spec and alignments with Steeda and UPR parts. Eliza's S550, MR on the house. He could claim it's a parity tune because it adds timing and it gets leaner. Actually, that is pretty interesting. If a hallmark of that tune is to slam timing, the leaner it gets, then you know what? That's an Easter egg. If you want that as an Easter egg on your shit, bro, have at it. You want to have +4 degrees on a 900 horsepower car as it goes lean? It's special sauce. Oh, it's special, all right. The simps out there glossing over means ignorance because it's not explained to them what happens. People think that, what's the big deal? He drew the file, put it back in his friend's car, no big deal. It was being advertised as tuned by them. And now he has access to that file. Why did he admit to drawing the file? Why didn't he say, you know what? I want to make sure my female best friend has the best tuning available, so I'm going to tune it from scratch. Why didn't you do that? Because you couldn't prove that it was tuned from scratch because we have the compare file that literally is Lund tune, except for injector data and the transmission. I mean, red-handed. And he's like, they're baseless accusations. Actually, what's the opposite of baseless accusations? 100% truth. Come on, stop it. Alex, what timing components and guides do you recommend? My last, the tensioner starting to chew through the backside and the chain wore out, wear straight. Look, I think Billet Pro Shops has stuff. I look at Billet Pro Shop stuff a lot, and the guys up there seem to really know the Coyote stuff. I mean, and they do like high-end Coyote stuff, like race stuff, grudge stuff. So if you want to kind of get on game with like tensioners, guides, and stuff like that, hit up Billet Pro Shops. Corey Grayley says to Eliza's, make sure you sit in the car or have weight in the driver's seat while doing an alignment. I set my rear camber to 0 and set to factory specs. Look at that, Corey Grayley helping out Eliza's S550. Did you see the East versus West 7 event? Don't know what you're talking about. Heard this morning it was rezoned to residential. Then there you go. Guys, do you think drag racing is going to be around for a long time? No. It's going to be street stuff and back half racing. It's going to be no prep, street stuff, and back half racing. Like, drag racing's dead. Okay, drag racing as you know it is dead. No prep, outlaw tracks, stuff like in the woods in Tennessee or some stuff, that's going to be huge. But the regular Joe Schmo that can go to, Bradenton or Orlando or Tallahassee and go out there and race, those are slowly coming to an end. Special sauce coming through the exhaust real soon. Exactly. It'll be funny in the future if tuning ends up being older carburetors because it'll automatically eliminate almost all other tuners. Look, the reason I got into the carburetor stuff with my Fox was a couple of reasons. One, to get familiar with it. I'm not going to tune anybody's carburetor. I am not looking to become a carburetor guru. I just want to expand my personal knowledge. I bought a ZR1 because I want to expand my personal knowledge. Okay, I've learned so much tuning that ZR1 that you don't just listen to one person, you listen to many. But the experts have the highest weight in terms of like what I should do. Rami Zaidan, Bledsoe, and Kong. I listen to them. But in the future, you guys got to understand that tuning is less and less going to be a thing. The C8 still properly can't be tuned. The Blackwing CT5 is not going to be tuned for a very long time. The Z06 is not going to be tuned for a real long time. The ZR1 is not going to be tuned for a real long time. Now, the 24 Mustang, we don't know why. If it decides to get built based on what you would call it, what do you call it? The thing that delays the parts get, basically they're still saying there's COVID issues in terms of getting supply chain. That's the word. Supply chain issues. They're still blaming supply chain issues from 2020 COVID in the Dark Horse and 24 and up GT and other Mustangs. Like, stop it. People would just steal carbs at that point. Just look, that's a thing. Alfredo Diaz. People buy, like, okay, Kenny Bombera at Bombera's in Houston. I think that guy's a genius when it comes to carburetors. So is Cornbread, Arthur Randall. I think they're great. So if they make proprietary changes on their carburetors and sell them to somebody, well, they're basically selling the fact that here are the changes I made. But there's no why. Like, you see the changes that are made, but you don't know why. I think tuning's the same thing. You see the changes that somebody made, but they don't know why. Like, I'm sure you see throttle changes made, and you're like, why is that? Well, maybe that combated the throttle staying open with specifically a turbo car leaving on a trans brake. Specifically. Guys, Lund Racing puts Easter eggs everywhere. And when we see a tune file that has the same exact Easter eggs, we go, now, have we found that in the past? Sure. Do we say anything about it? No. The only reason Alejandro Flores, Lund Racing didn't put me up to this. I said, hey guys, he just admitted it. When was the car tuned? Show me the timeline. I asked for this stuff. And I was like, and then based on my personal knowledge, I went, oh, it all makes sense. And there you go. I'm like Tucker Carlson when it comes to that shit. Hello. Hope everyone's doing well, hitting the like button. 4 bolts and can you get the carb off? Exactly. It's true, Alex. The suppliers of raw materials cannot attract enough employees to make the items needed. I'm in the industry. Okay, so that's an employee issue, not supply chain. Like, what is happening with people that don't want to go back to work and are having trouble making the parts that are needed? And why does Ford take orders on cars they can't build because they need that money coming in. Like I understand. Like why Tesla does deposits on things. They got to gauge interest. But Ford, knowing that there are supply chain issues looming on their F-150, you don't think that's going to affect their Mustang lineup and they don't make plans for that? I'm blown away by that. I'm not claiming to know what's wrong. I'm a dumbass. That's why I use the best. And the best is Lund, according to Dirty Dave. Also, does anyone in the chat know how much valve seals should cost to get done at a shop? Look, you want to get tuned by those guys? You don't believe what I say? That's fine. Go ahead. Please go ahead, get tuned by somebody else. And I hope everything goes well. But if it doesn't, you might not have a second shot of coming back at Lund. Like some people burn bridges behind them. Like bad. And there's a guy on that post. Oh, now my customers can't get access to Lund tuning because you burned that bridge. Imagine Lund Racing seeing a guy get tuned, a fast car, and we're working bugs out because that's what happens. And then he says, let me give somebody else a shot. Okay, you gave somebody else a shot. So what makes us think that you won't do that to every tune sent to every one of your customers? Hey, I got an exotic setup here. I have an 18 GT350 with lock cams, Cobra Jet intake, ported asshole, ported heads, M1, blah, 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 and a Whipple 132 throttle body, Lund. Can you help me out? Lund goes, okay. Now there's a very exotic tune in your possession. What makes us think that you're not going to just turn around and, hey, you give this a shot? And the person goes, oh my God. So imagine a shop starts ordering a tune for 11 to 12 GT, then goes, I need a tune for 11 to 12 GT auto. Okay. Okay. I need one for a manual. Okay. I need one for a JLT. Okay. I need one for a PMAS. But you just had a JLT. Yeah, I didn't like it. I want an Air Raid. Hey, I want a Steeda. Hey, I want a CNL. Oh, by the way, now let's start doing injectors. And I'm like, wow, you basically are building a base file system through the customers. I'm not saying you did that, but I'm saying from Lund Racing's perspective, we go, you're building a base file system through Lund Racing's files. Not all of them. Some of you actually do it from scratch, and I commend you because it is very difficult. Not something I want to do, but you might say, Alex, you don't know nothing. Well, okay, no problem. Here's a carburetor. Here's a carburetor. Make it run. Go. Alex doesn't know shit. Got it. Here's a carburetor. Here's a 13 millimeter wrench. Here's a flathead screwdriver. Vaya con Dios. Alex doesn't know nothing. Alex don't know nothing. Got it. Understood. I love people like that. I got the extra large today. I had to get amped up. Yeah, Jeremiah Rivera, I'm not going to talk about Trump on CNN. I get it. I heard China's shipping stuff like they used to. Could you imagine stealing files from Lund and calling them your competition? Look, he admitted to drawing it, and then it ended up on Facebook as tuned by them. Blown away. And I'm sure there's going to be mental gymnastics. People are going to go, wait a minute, let me get on the mental pommel horse, the mental uneven bars, and the mental parallel bars. No, it's definitely him because he reloaded the Lund tune with his tools. So it's his. That's you'll see. You will see. People make excuses, the craziest shit. And they'll say stuff like, well, he didn't charge me, so he's cool. What makes you think that him not charging you wasn't so he can have access to what you got going on? Stop it. I wouldn't charge you either if you had a twin turbo car with an 87 millimeter throttle body, an AMS 2000, M1, MEF, 6R80 with a 4R200 hub. I wouldn't charge you a goddamn thing if I could draw that file. Pikachu face, exactly. Alex still looking for corporate sponsorships from Dunkin' Donuts. Absolutely. Look, Okay, you can make fun of this channel, that this channel is just some dumb streamer that talks shit and that's all he does and that's all he's good for. You probably have a case, but I'm not wrong. Like, I'm not wrong about this. One thing about me is at least I'm honest, right? I'd like to think that people out there look at this channel and go, you know what? He talks a little shit. He's abrasive. But God damn it. The evidence he puts out there and the knowledge he puts out there, which again, I'm not that knowledgeable, but I can relay it to the layman in pretty easy terms, is valuable. So when someone like this self-snitches, I'm just going to bring it to your attention because it has to do with us. And if Lund hadn't lost over $200,000 just on him, I wouldn't have an issue. Why? Because that could be my money. That could be my money that goes into my pocket that someone is wasting. So if I see somebody in the company that I work in fucking the company, I'm going to say something. Because that could have been my quarterly bonus. That could have been put into my 401k. That could have been put into profit sharing. Like, I'm blown away that people don't see, they don't see it from that angle. Because what do I do every day? Tune. Every day. So when motherfuckers hit me up after 5, I'm blown away. But if I'm not tuning, I'm working on something that is related to tuning. So when someone is out there skating, taking someone else's work, oh yeah, I'm going to say something, but not until I have proof. And once he divulged it, I'm like, you just made it easy for me. Thank you for writing the Sunday show. That's like Hennessy throwing a carbon fiber kit on a call and calling it theirs, right? Yeah, that's great. Like, people say that he dropped us, whatever makes you feel good at night. Look, you got to write out with a guy who admitted to drawing a Lund tune. You got to write out with a guy that admitted to drawing Lund tune. Oh, and there's legal stuff that I can't get involved in, but I couldn't mention specifics. But bro, you want to talk about smoke and fire. But the one that kind of really rubs me the wrong way is the EPA stuff. That really rubs me the wrong way. Because if someone is defending a person that is affiliated with that, and you could deny it till the fucking cows come home. You could deny it. You can say you weren't involved. Based on what I know and what I experienced, you are a liar. Dishonest. You're a grifter. You're a flim-flam man, a scammer. That is who you are. Plain and simple. I'm not charging you really means I'm cutting you out of the profits I make from drawing your file. Alex with Mother Day Massacre with bullet receipts. I got to have the receipts. If I didn't have the receipts, because he said he was 95% sure he sent the tune file. And we all in the company said, nope, Brandon sent that tune file. Brandon sent that file. Hey, let me look up the ticket. There it is. Boom. Stop it. Isaiah, no, I haven't talked about cars. Can I refund my Ford system from someone else and buy it from the? I wouldn't. Look, your boy Trey. I get it. Just put it on your car. Just put it on your car, and you're good. And you just put it on your car and let it go. Let it go. I wouldn't recommend that. I would just say, just put it on your car. It's a foreign innovation fuel system. Who cares? I get it. I get it where you're coming from. But my beef is with Matt, only because he outed himself. Plain and simple. And I got the receipts. This chat was what I needed. I'm a tree fall. I had a tree fall from my house Thursday. I lost everything. I'm homeless and living in a hotel. Get out. Are you serious? Why are you giving me $15? Get out of here. This chat was what I needed. I had a tree fall on my house. Tree fall on your house Thursday, and you lost everything. Jeez. I hope you're okay. I don't know why you give me $15 if you lost everything, but thanks for the money. Yeah, look. This guy is someone that you know is full of shit the morning you meet him. You just know someone is full of shit the moment you meet him. You go, yep, nah, we're good. We're good. But why did he work for Lund? Well, at the time, which I'm sure a lot of you guys are in the middle of right now, he seemed useful. He seemed to have some knowledge. He seemed to have something. And when the previous guy that he dealt with said he severely oversold his capabilities, boy, didn't it make sense. didn't make sense. Like, guys, there have been enemies that we've had that have actually come together because of the common dislike for this person. Imagine that. Imagine I hate, because, when I hate somebody, I hate them forever. But if that person hates my other enemy as much as I do, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. And that's a lot of relationships were forged based on that alone, which tells you a lot. Now, right now, you're in the honeymoon phase. Yeah, he's taking care of me. He's answering my emails. He's doing great. Just wait. And don't ever post complaints about that situation after listening to this live stream. Because you listen. Oh, trust me. You listen through the whole hour and a half trying to poke holes in it until I showed the receipts. Frick, where was that? Coyote Kelly, dude, everyone's safe. A couple years back, a local tuner wanted to see my TSS tune, and I told him no. Funny enough, it was at a dyno day. I have customers in California that show me private messages of people saying, sell me your tune. Meaning, come to my shop, I'll draw it out, I'll send it out to the cloud somewhere where someone is going to reverse it, make it something that I can actually flash with software that's available, and be good with that. Luckily, this customer goes, hell no. Not just no, hell no. Because if Lund finds out that I gave you a pretty exotic file, then all of a sudden they might drop me because now you're facilitating theft. Sorry about that, Kels. Channel support always says, Cody Kelly, insurance should cover everything. Fortunately, we were not home when it happened, but the house is totaled. I'm sorry to hear that, bro. You probably love the house. I couldn't imagine saving up for a house here that I loved, and then hurricane takes it away or something bad happens. I'm sorry it happened, brother. But yeah, man, hopefully the insurance covers it. You end up in a better situation. Yes, that phase, the wolf. Then comes the phase where you go, bro, where you at? Like, I'm having issues. Hello, I paid you $850 for a sucked off Lund. Hello, where you at? Then he leaves. And then all of a sudden, you hear. That's right. The dogs know. And you're like, what's that? Hi, how you doing? This right here is a request for information. Whoa, what are you talking about? Hey. Okay. You can always build another house. Can't get back a lost life. Glad you're in the family are okay. Yes, Coyote Kelly, for sure. Happy Mother's Day. I actively avoid anyone from being able to plug to my OBD2 port on my car. Now, if you're at a dyno and you have a Lund Racing Engage or an SCTX4, or the shop has a Lund Racing Engage or an SCTX4, and they want to data log your car in case something happens. Shad Hoffman does a great job. Shad Hoffman goes to a shop. The guy has HP tuners, data logs whatever he can see, sends me the data log. Now, the moment you start seeing a guy come up to your car like this with, 5 engages and like, hey, let me just plug into your car real quick. Well, what are you doing? I'm just going to data log the car. That looks like really crazy looking equipment. Don't worry about it. I just want to data log it just to make sure. I'm not even going to charge you, bro. Introducing 7-second turbo tunes. Right. Got it. Extendo, no more plans for the Fox body until I fix the rack, the steering rack. It needs a steering rack because there's no power steering in it and it sucks driving without power steering. And then a 150 shot. But again, I'm going to enjoy it. I'm not going to have a constant every week update on the car. That's just not going to happen. I'm going to actually enjoy my vehicles probably for most of the summer. I had about 6 trees cut. Now it's the tree channel. What? That Tony boy got a deep bark. No, it's not Tony. It's my little lady's dog. Today's live has opened my mind to something I had no idea was a thing. Tuners stealing tunes. What I'm saying is this, because there's the low level stuff. Let's say you have an unlocked HPT file. I get that. Some places, look, if you leave your file unlocked and someone else draws it, then you don't necessarily care about your intellectual property. You go, okay, you know what? It's open. And if you want to go to a dyno shop, and you have an open editable file, then that's the Chevy game. It's open season. But the moment you have to do anything to make the drawn file viewable, meaning importing, exporting, binary stuff, special tools, special this, special that, programming language, C++, C this, you are now actively trying to open something that was not meant to be opened. So if you have the tools, that does not mean it's okay. It just means, imagine having a Jimmy. You know what a Jimmy is, right? Not the dick. Let's say you have a Jimmy, meaning to open a car door. And you're going around looking at cars and you're like, boop, not my fault that I got in it. They're my tools. They're my tools. What's the big deal? This Cadillac is now mine because I opened it with my tools. What's the big deal? Hey, look, nice Cadillac. Yeah, I got a Jimmy. Pop, put some wheels on it. It's mine now. I mean, it's not how I found it. I now put wheels on it and I opened it with my tool. The Jimmy. The digital Jimmy. The fuck out of here. You opened it with a digital Jimmy, motherfucker. Stop it. Thief. Only thing you need to unlock is a bottle of Rogaine. That's funny. If it can be stolen, it'll be stolen. Anything. People just need to remember favorite Alex saying. That is, let's do some critical thinking. They don't do that. Hey, nice car you got there. Thanks, man. Just bought it yesterday. Parks it, puts a lock on it. Then you go, it's my car now. I mean, it's your fault that I'm able to open it. You should protect it better. That like that's the argument with Hellcats and Trackhawks. You start seeing Pookie go out there with very easy equipment, open a car, take it, steal it. Now it's their car. So if you were Pookie's defender, you'd go, well, what's the big deal? He simply stole a car that wasn't his. If the owner really didn't want him to steal the car, he would have protected it better. Imagine making a defense for the people that steal as opposed to indicting them for the act. Right. Your Fox is honestly perfect the way it is. Super light car makes over $450. Perfect combo for a fun car. It is very fun. Need that digital Jimmy hat, right? Your Fox is honestly perfect. He said it again. Just got here. I can't wait to check out the replay. It's a good time. Guys, look. It's not a big deal. Hey, man, it's not a big deal. Look, if the guy can go up to it, unlock it, and drive it away, it's his for the taking. Okay, let's give away some shirts because why not? 2 shirt giveaways. Today was a great show. Great show. On the podcast, I'm gonna download it right now. Put it up on the podcast so everyone can hear it. Everyone can hear it. Self-snitching happening in the industry. So, YDB t-shirt, large or extra large? I'll just, I don't know, do some trivia or something. So, large or extra large? These are the leftover batch I had from the first time. I have probably 30 or 40 left or something like that total. So, I'll give them away until they're gone. Then I'll look into maybe merch, but that won't be for a while. Tuesday, we're going to be giving away the ZT2 package or the brakes. We're either going to be giving away the ZT2 package, the Zaytronics ZT2 package, or the rear lightweight brakes for S197. And then we'll work on the injector dynamics and maybe an Engage and pulleys for ESS stuff. Okay, so let's trivia questions. Again, OG fans. I like the OG fans. The OG fans are pretty damn legit. What was the drink of choice of YOLO Douchebag? Which he actually put into the tank. He put into the tank and he broke the sound barrier. But again, only reply if you've never won. Only reply if you've never won. So what is YOLO Douchebag's favorite drink that he actually used in his gas tank to break the sound barrier? Boy, that was oh, JD, too bad. Frankosaurus Rex wins. He said Red Bulk. look at Jason. So Frankosaurus Rex wins. Let me know, Frankosaurus Rex, ydbt4life@gmail.com, ydbt4life@gmail.com. Let me know large or extra large, and prove your identity, meaning picture your license, cross out, I don't know, weird things, but I need to know your address. maybe screenshot your username on YouTube, and then I get you a shirt. Again, large or extra large, Frankosaurus Rex wins that. So you win that. Someone said cola champán. Boy, that is very, very Puerto Rican. So we'll get back to the shenanigans on Tuesday, but today had to be done. And I'm sure stuff will percolate over the weekend. We'll talk about that because they're probably going to deny it all you want. I put it out there. Whatever you want to think. Maybe I'm not the best relayer of information, but if the truth is the truth, that's the nice thing about the truth. You remember it. You don't have to make it up. You remember the truth. And when someone says I'm 95% sure, well, guess what? That 5% weighs very, very heavy based on experience. Okay, second question. So Frankosaurus Rex won the first one. So Yola Douchebag sent a tune to somebody in a state, and that person died, right? As a funny joke, because they went off a ramp because the taurine tune was too spicy. What state did that person live in? What state did that person live in? Yola Douchebag sent a tune to somebody, and while he was in Massachusetts, the taurine tune, to try it, the person ended up going off a ramp and dying. Forward more performance, Florida. Very, very good. Boy, you guys pay attention. Okay, so forward more performance. If you haven't won anything yet, please do me a favor. And someone said Cali. Large or extra large, and we'll send you a shirt. So there you go. Florida. Someone died in Florida when Yola Douchebag sent him a taurine tune. People were like Canada, Massachusetts, Texas, Michigan, Cali, New Hampshire, North Carolina. Boy, there's not that many OG fans, but it's, so I said vegetable. 95% of the time it works, 100% of the time. They don't even deny it. They just say he helped me and he was nice. I mean, sure. Then if someone is okay with that, then ride out with that. So forward more performance and Frankosaurus Rex win the shirts. We'll, talk a little shit for another 10, 12 minutes and we'll get the fuck out of here. But I'm sure you're going to hear the excuses on Facebook. You're going to see big puke posts. Well, first of all, number one, I helped them build the files. No, you didn't. Stop. No one that doesn't have the last name Lund was ever involved after 2015. And people that were involved before that did them badly. That's why they had to get redone. So if you currently have access to the 11 to 17 folder, all those files are 8 years old. Give me extra large or give me death. Hey, email me, ydbtforlife@gmail.com. I got them ready to go. All I got to do is make a label, slap it on, and you're good to go. Oh my God, Mendoza's. No, he didn't actually die. Oh my God. I guess I got to reference the video. It's so stupid. Like, it's the dumbest thing ever. Where is it? Alejandro Flores Taurine tune. It's the dumbest thing ever. I'm in my kitchen somewhere saying that a guy died because I sent them a tune. I'm trying to find it now. But that's one of the early videos. Tunes from the Tune Master and a new device at a bargain. Cheaper versions of tunes, especially aluminum drive shaft tunes. So stupid. Oh, it's so stupid. It's number cylinder 8 delete tune. I run over a cat. Boy, I was so stupid. Here we go. We've lost a comrade. Check it out. Wow, this is skinny. Actually, I weigh about 10 pounds more than I did back then. So enjoy Yola Douchebag telling you what happened. And this is the video I was referencing when I said that someone died in California. Someone died in Florida when when Yola Douchebag sent him a tune.
What's going on, guys? Yola's coming at you guys today with a real heavy heart. Wait. These are tears. Tears of sadness. Yeah, there was a buddy of mine down in Florida. Guy's name's Nick. Super nice guy. He really wanted to try the taurine tune before I really got a chance to dial it in, to kind of get it all straightened out. And, him being in Florida, the streets are a little cold right now. And he thought he could run the taurine tune without, me doing some provisions. And unfortunately, he's not with us anymore. We have footage of what happened. Here you go.
Oh, he's dead. Yeah, he's dead.
So anyway, police report says they really couldn't find a body. My tune made the car so fucking fast, it went off that ramp in the middle of nowhere and his body pretty much disintegrated. You know, I feel bad, he was a great guy. So in honor of him, I got him the fruitiest fucking vodka on earth that he loves so much. I'm gonna pour some on the ground in honor of my boy Nick, and man, we love you. And I'm gonna miss everybody. This for you, man. Miss you, man. You and your fruity ass fucking vodka, man. Love you, bro.
You gotta love it. You know, he was ahead of his time, you know, and I didn't suck off that file. That file was definitely made 100% from scratch by me. So yeah, good shit. Good shit there. So yeah, the people that know, you guys are super duper OG fans if you even heard of that silliness. Bro, stop it. Yeah, I just happened to have footage. It just happened to have been a a camera at the exact moment of impact. So we were lucky to get that. I had to pull that FOIA to get that, a Freedom of Information request, so I can actually get the footage of Nick dying in Florida. Oh, fuck. How it all got started. Some provisions, yeah. I wasn't tuning at all back then. Like, guys, the stuff I said back then was so off the wall crazy that it all was true. Everything I said back then was 100% true. And I think that's when tuners were like, wait a minute, how do you know this? I'm like, I don't know this. I'm guessing that you guys are just stealing each other's shit all the time and sucking it off and just, you know, rehashing old shit. And then come to find out that's exactly what was happening. I would have never thought that someone would actually admit to doing it. But that's what happens. Bama tuned, YOLO tuner in the game that can tune a mower, leaf blower tune right. So I remember that guy. That was a guy on Facebook. He's like, YOLO could tune a lawnmower, and I'm like, maybe you're right. I don't know. I've never challenged myself to tune a lawnmower, but let me see. YDBT lawnmower. I mean, I wanted to challenge myself, and people said I didn't have any tuning abilities. So I was like, well, let me see if they might be right, that my tuning abilities are so bad that I couldn't even tune a lawnmower.
Oh, hey guys, what's going on? Yellow douchebag here. So, you know, I've gotten a lot of attention lately, you know, especially from the Mustang tuning community. But I've also gotten attention from a lot of haters who say I can't tune anything. They doubt that I can tune anything, you know. They don't think my number 8 cylinder delete can do anything, that my touring tune's bullshit, you know. And some other guys trying to take credit for the shit that I came up with. So anyway, some guys said the other day, hey, YOLO can't even fucking tune a weed eater. I'm like, what's a weed eater? I think he meant, you know, trimmer, like one of those, you know, yard trimmers. And then someone that said, yeah, I can't even tune a fucking lawnmower. You know, YOLO doesn't know how to do shit. So I was thinking, well, maybe they're right. You know, I've never even tried it. So I got my, you know, lawn equipment out here. I'm going to throw some tunes in it, see if they even start up with my tunes. So as always, I got my super cool tuner. I'm just gonna plug the OBD2 port on this Toro snow thrower here. I'm just gonna plug it in the OBD2 port and see if I can throw my tune in, and it'll work out just fine. So I uploaded a pretty simple tune in the thing. You know, I had to remove like I don't know, 7 cylinders from my tunes because this is a single cylinder deal. So I'm gonna give it a pull and see if this thing starts right up. Okay, I haven't even touched it, haven't started it. Let's see what happens. Okay, 1 down, 2 to go. So now I got my trusty lawnmower, same deal. OBD2 port from the fucking super cool tuner. Plug it right in where it's supposed to go.
Wow.
Yes, it's underneath here somewhere. There we go, perfect. Now we're gonna do the same thing. Hasn't started in, I don't know, since fucking September is the last time I cut the lawn here. We'll see if this thing starts, how many pulls it takes. Okay, this is one of those, you know, hold down the handle and pull on the thing deals. But I'm gonna try to multitask here and see if this thing starts up. First pull, here we go.
Editing.
2 for 2. So now we're gonna try to pull a trifecta here. We're gonna do a tricky one, a tricky tune. So this is a 2-stroke trimmer. Same deal. YDBT tuner. Now I'm gonna have to really play with the strategy tune on this thing because it runs on 2-stroke stuff, so I really can't give him my conventional tunes. But you know what? I'm gonna work my fucking magic. I'm gonna prove this fat fuck wrong. You'll see what happens. Okay, same thing. Plug it into the OBD2 port. You should be good to go. Okay, let's give it a shot. First pull hasn't been run since September or so. So apparently, guys, I am the best tuner in the world. Not only can I tune Mustangs and anything else, I can tune lawnmowers, fucking trimmers, and snow throwers. Shit starts on the first pull. So, to all the haters out there that doubt my tuning abilities, I only got one thing to say. Deal with it, bro.
Oh, those days were so much simpler. Like, I didn't have to deal with any of this bullshit. I've been thrust into the absolute shenanigans of people just being absolute, shitheads. I yearn for those days again, but that was a broke boy Alex. Like, broke boy Alex was actually funny. I haven't gone back far enough, bro. The haters were a big batch of Camaros. Nice. My Massachusetts flashbacks are triggered now. Is that a leather jacket? You were like 34? Yeah, I was like 34, 35 years old back then. It's crazy not seeing you in Florida. What'd you use to edit that tricky tune? I did say tricky back then, right? That was kind of funny. A tricky tune. Neighbors looking out the window like, what the fuck is this retard doing? Yeah, that's what I thought the whole time, but I didn't care. Like, I had certain things in my head I had to get out, and they were stupid as hell, but funny. And Lund must have stole that snowblower tune, Florida-based company. I'm sure of it. Super cool tuner, better than an N-Gauge. Were you referring to Beefcake when you said fat fuck? No. This was another guy that was on like anything Coyote related back in like, 2010, something like that. 2013 or 12, around there. Yeah, no, come on, stop it, Nardi Mercado. You think Mustang Lifestyles actually dials in torque tables like one by one? Dials in all the cam angles, dials in the best FE, best OP, best drivability, the distance tables. You think he does that? You think he actually does any of that stuff? Come on, stop it. Bro, I need to go through the old stuff. Exactly. All right, guys. So today, let's wrap up what we did. We outed a grifter, someone I think that is just gotten by basically overselling his abilities. And then he admitted to stealing a Lund tune with his tools, with a digital Jimmy, and then put it back in and then made revisions and said totally wasn't going to sell it at all. But meanwhile, we saw that on Facebook, it was being labeled as tuned by the company that he is affiliated with. Now, that's not to say that every tune he does is a Lund suck off, but if you have never tuned anything fast in your life and struggled to tune a Gen 2 6R80 car to go 9.0s, and all of a sudden you pop up and the non-compete is over and you're tuning potentially 7-second cars and 8-second 10R80 cars, you could make that leap. Not saying that we're accusing you of that, but you self-snitched on a certain tune file. Congratulations. Now, everything we thought going forward has been verified. We have the receipts to prove the timeline. So we just wanted to make sure that gets out there because the door has been busted wide open based on the Dropbox stuff. And again, the Dropbox stuff, we're not going after anybody. We're like, just know that's a thing. See you later. Have a good day. And then this guy started self-snitching on his own Facebook. And now he's probably going, I should have just shut my mouth. I'm going to tell you what you should have done, Matt. Should have just shut your mouth. You should have just sat there and said, well, maybe this thing will blow over. Let them think that I'm tuning their stuff. I don't care. And I think you would have been better off. But the fact that you admitted to drawing it with special tools, a digital Jimmy, adjusting it wrongly, I might add, and then saying it's not being sold or anything, and then the receipts say otherwise, you literally buried yourself. So if you have anyone to blame for this, it's yourself. Look in the mirror, 100%. Your own doing. All right, guys, I'm out of here. We'll be back on Tuesday, back on the regular bullshit. If something pops up, we'll talk about it. We're going to be giving away the ZT2 package for wideband, fuel pressure, whatever you want to analog into a Lund Racing N-Gauge. This package will do it. 07 to 10 GT500s need this. Cobras need this. Lightnings need this. A lot of good can come of this. I tuned my Corvette with this. That's right. I tuned my Corvette with this on a 260 GT stock situation with a 255 pulley, and it gave me a wideband output that I could analog and tune with. All right, guys. See you Tuesday. Have a great rest of your Mother's Day. We'll see what happens with the fallout with this show. All right, guys. Have a good rest of your day. See you later. Bye.